Hello. Welcome. Welcome. We are the Nosy Bystanders. Bink. Come on in. I know y'all love being late and tardy and CP time. All of that good jazz. I know. Come on in. Come on in. We have a great show today. We do. We have a great show today. Come on in. The water's fine. The water is fine. Come on in. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I will preface this by saying that hold on one second. I will preface this by saying that hello everyone. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to greeting you guys. Let me say two things. First, I absolutely love greeting everyone in the building, at least as fast as my eyes can catch it, because I love you guys. The second thing I want to say is that before we even begin, I have to show you this video that I have been laughing at literally for like 10 minutes. So, first, introductions. How y'all doing? Let's see who's in the building, because I know a lot of y'all showed up early. The Shirleys and the the early Shirleys is what I'm gonna call y'all. The early Shirleys. Male or female, I don't care. Or they, thems. You're early Shirleys if you show up. Mysterious by nature. Hello. Hello, Neve. Hello, super cute Walker. Hello, Taurus season. Hello, MXDRI. What's up, lucky lady? Creatively D. Hello, D. Ashley. I'm not gonna say your last name because I feel like I'd be doxing people by saying your first and last name. What's up, Ro? How you doing, Ro? This is from Dr. Barnes. Hey, Dr. Barnes. Nessa, hello. Keeping it God. Keeping God in it. That's a mouthful. But it's a great name. Hello, Mrs. Prince. Hello, Ebony. No, Ebony, no ivory. Let me look a little closer. That says Ebony, no ivory. Oh, you just got to take a pause. That's actually a great name. Ebony, no ivory. Does that mean you're single? Or does that mean you're dark skinned and there's no light skins? Or does that mean that you don't have vitiligo? Like, what is it? Ebony, no ivory. Lucky lady. Hello, lucky lady. Hello, Donna. Hello, Alex. Oh, snap. Hold on. Hello, Sherelle Hardy. Hello, Sherelle. Hello, Tamika. Hello, Dr. Jones. A lot of doctors in the building. You know, I had a meeting today with an attorney, and she's told me that my audience gravitates toward very, intellectual, smart individuals. Not to say that if you're not a doctor, you're that's not you. I mean, like, because of the length of analysis that I do in my research, it gravitates toward a specific audience. So she's basically saying, shout out to the nosy bystanders, you guys, because you're just all brilliant people. So shout out to that fantastic attorney. Hello, Shamika. Hello, Nairi. Hello, Nairi. What's up, Rachel? How you doing? Ashley, Slay Goddess. I'm sorry, my bad. Tanya Nugent. Tanya Nugent. That's a mouthful. Great name, by the way. CK. Is it Shaz Princeton? I hope I'm saying that right. Shaz Princeton. Okay. Well, hello, Shaz. Hello, Kate Person. Hello, Tiffany. Hello, Marty. Marty Tay. Hello, Cammy on the go. Cammy on the go. Kira and Marilyn and Nairi. These are people always ask me where's Ivory when I tell them my name. Oh, because I have a sister named Ebony. She actually had a friend named Ivory. That's hilarious. Tonisha and Barbara and Jennifer, hello. Desmond, hello. Loretta, always good to see you in the building. You too, Minnesota. Mandy, good to see everybody in the building. But, these are some of the people who started off with us really early, so I just recognize their names. Latasha, and is it Galandra? Hello. And Mrs. Amaze. Hello, Kay. How you doing? So let's get into the video that I want to show you. And I saw your message, Kay. You said Wendy Williams is having what appears to be a major psychiatric health emergency. Okay, we'll check it out. I'll have to check it out after the show, and then we'll see. We'll see if we have time. If I can check on it now, we can see. But let me show you this video. It's been trending all over. It's about to go viral on TikTok. I caught it pretty early on. So I want to show you the video, and then I'm going to show you the stitch. And that's how we're just going to introduce our entire episode today, because I'm sorry, you guys, you have to watch this. Okay, you ready? All right, let's go.
What's good, y'all? My bad, I'm not in the house. I had to go make a McDonald's run because I ain't got no groceries. I ain't no food. But I just wanted to make this video to remind y'all to be careful who you fuck with. Because not everybody you fuck with is going to fuck with you. Not everybody you look out for is going to look out for you. Shit, you might show up for the wrong motherfucker at the wrong place at the wrong time and end up with a fucking monkeypox. And then who gonna be there to look out for you? Nobody. So at the end of the day, just choose yourself.
Now, let me show you. Hold on, you guys. It's definitely a sketch. Those are not what monkeypox looks like at all. And the way that they appear on his body are not congruent on the pattern of how they show up. That's what makes it funny. But please watch this stitch. Now, listen.
My bad, I'm not in the house. I had to go make a McDonald's run because I ain't got no groceries.
You talking about your bad? You are infected. You need to be inside, quarantined off. Why didn't you order some Uber Eats? This is not a my bad type of situation. Oh, my fault. A bitch could die after you said my bad. This is real life. Real life. Bitch, if you came in my drive-thru, I'd have shut the window on you. Because what the fuck are you doing out? Oh, my God.
That is my mutual. She goes by the name of Kat. Go follow her. She is hilarious. That her stitch is just tears. But let's get to the show. I want to show you guys that because that had me tickled. I'm like, is the way the comments are going? It's like, are people not realizing that this is a sketch? Like this is a sketch, and the video's gonna clearly go viral. And good shout out to him because it's like we're like currently in the state of the world we are at now. Sometimes it's just nice to laugh, and I don't understand how people didn't catch that it's a literal sketch. So it's funny. It's great. So let's get into our first video. Okay. Let's get into our first topic of discussion. I'm gonna pull up the imagery here. So we're actually talking about Kid Cudi and Kanye. So Kid Cudi actually did the September issue of Esquire magazine. And typically, when you do the cover of a magazine, they usually do like a full length article on you. Smash the like button, you guys, please. A full length editorial for you, right? Where you sit down with the interviewer and he goes over some line of questioning. How's your career going? What projects do you have coming up? And so on and so forth. But first, let's just look at this. Kid Cudi looks great. If you guys don't know, we're from the same town. We're both from Cleveland, Ohio. Kid Cudi looks great in this. They did a really good job. This photographer did a really great job. Imagery great, color great, lighting. He looks great. He does. He looks great. I love Kid Cudi. But this is not what we're discussing. If you guys don't know, Kid Cudi is signed to Good Music. Good Music is owned by Kanye West, and so he signed to Kanye West's label, Good Music. Kid Cudi did suffer from a series of mental health, like taking long mental health breaks, which he did great. Now he's working on a tour. He's got a collaboration with McDonald's and they got a merch thing going on. I'm not going to lie to you. I ordered some merch. I had to, y'all. Because when Travis Scott did his collaboration with McDonald's, I did not get any of the merch and I literally almost cried. So, yeah, I'm one of those people. Okay, so he does a collaboration. He's got a tour date coming up. I think he was at the Rolling Loud concert, and he's got new music coming out. But that's not really the gist of it. Within that Esquire article, they got down to the nitty gritty of basically why they were trying to even interview Kid Cudi. And I'm going to read this little snippet to you because I thought it was really telling. The editor, the person who was interviewing him, stated that Kid Cudi addresses Kanye West and says, I'm not one of your kids. I'm not Kim. And this is in reference to Kid Cudi's relationship with Pete Davidson. And let me repeat myself. Kid Cudi states that I am not one of your kids. I'm not Kim. It doesn't matter if I'm friends with Pete or not friends with Pete. None of this ish has anything to do with me, Cudi states. If you can't be a grown man and deal with the fact that you lost your woman, that's not my effing problem. You need to own up to your own ish, like every man in life has. I've lost women too, and I've had to own up to it. I don't need that in my life. I don't need it. Now, Kid Cudi does not explain what kind of like pressure or annoyance, if you will, that Kanye West is kind of putting on him um about his relationship with Pete Davidson and his breakup with Kim. Kid Cudi doesn't go into detail, but it must be enough pressure. And you guys have to realize this too. When celebrities or anybody of influence goes to make public statements or are interviewed and they make statements like this, remember, these statements aren't for us. Him making the statement in Esquire magazine is not simply for us as entertainment, tea, or gossip. This is really for Kanye West because apparently, privately, Kanye West and Kid Cudi are just not getting the gist of why he doesn't care about how much he hates Pete Davidson or whatever. It's simply put, leave me alone, get over it, get her back, don't get her back, stop bothering me. The end. Okay, the end. And so I think that he was kind of just like thoroughly, probably upset with like, I don't, I with upset with what? I don't actually quite know. I don't really quite know what he's upset with, but Kanye must really be getting up under this man's skin. The part that I thought was really interesting is where he says here at the top, he's like, um, "I'm not your kid. I'm not Kim." Right? I'm not your kid. I'm not Kim. Yeah, because he might be a control freak. If you guys notice that while he was married to Kim, Kim wasn't allowed to have the kids on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm sorry, she was allowed to have the kids on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but she was not allowed to. Kanye was not on there except their wedding, and he was not to be referenced on there either. Like he's a master control freak. Um, Hello, Brown Delight. How you doing? Risa said that line made me think he talks down to people. Yeah, right. Like, and don't get me wrong. The crazy part about it is that like I grapple with Kanye's antics. If you don't remember when Pete Davidson and Kim broke up, Kanye had tweeted Pete Davidson dead at age 28, and so like I understand Kanye's antics. It's just like. It's kind of unnecessary at some point. You know what I mean? Like, um, it's 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 like troll. I'm gonna put this image up because I like this image. It's like troll like behavior. Like him and Kid Cudi have been together well before good music. So I'm like, are you really gonna burn all your bridges? What's the point of being a billionaire who can have all the friends and all the influence in the world, and then you just scare away all your friends because you lost the love of your life, so to speak? Which I don't even think Kanye loved Kim. I got a thought. I have a thought. I got a thought. Hello, Erica. How you doing? Now ride with me with this, okay? Follow me now. Kanye and Kid Cudi's relationship is like this. Like this, you guys. I've been tracking their careers for the better part of 15 years. That's how tight they've been. I've never in my entire life seen Kid Cudi hang out with Pete Davidson. Unless they got a private relationship that's private, I've never seen images of Kid Cudi and Pete Davidson. Hear me out. Conspiracy theory, okay? Just hear me out. What if Kanye made him say that? What if what just hear me out. What if Kanye made or asked Kid Cudi to say that? Knowing that it was going to get out and knowing that Kim would read it. Knowing that Kanye is obsessive over her. You understand what I mean? Like manipulative, like, oh wow, he's really bothering his friends over me. Wow, that is like crazy. But maybe he's really loves me. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta understand. Listen. Kanye, Ye is a lunatic. He's also a mastermind. He's also a genius. You understand what I mean? The nigga is a genius. He's a genius. He's a genius. He's a genius. So what if Kanye asked Kid Cudi to say, I've never seen images. Now they could exist, but I've never seen images, screens of like, oh God, the bro relationship between Kid Cudi and Pete Davidson. I'm sure it exists, but I've just never seen it. You know what I mean? What if Kanye made or asked Kid Cudi to say that blurb, knowing it was going to get out? Because remember, Kim stated a couple of months back that she had changed her number because she didn't want Kanye texting her crazy stuff. And remember what we talked about when it comes to celebrities and messaging. They always use the media to their advantage, even for private events and private affairs, specifically relationships. We talked about this with Wendy Williams when the Mercury Group, the people who own Wendy Williams, her studio and her show, and they put that message out in September of last year, like, Wendy's a valued member of the Mercury Group and we can't wait for her to come back. And when I read it, I was like, that message sounds like they were like there was speculation that Wendy wasn't returning, but at the time they put that message out, Wendy had COVID. So there was no indication that Wendy wasn't returning. But then I did some digging and I was like, oh no, this is a back end. That's because Wendy not answering a fucking phone calls. That's why. So they put the message out on her official Instagram page, not for us, for her. To let her know you are a valued member. Come to work. So when I saw that, I was like, that's right. That's how they talk to each other. They talk to each other through the media. It's kind of like there's a thing in law where if you need to, in specific cities, not every city and state, but if you need to serve someone and you can't track them down, some counties allow you to serve them via the newspaper. So you can actually put the letter of service in the paper and a judge will say, this is officially being served because you've tried every avenue. You've tried a process server. You've tried this. You've tried that. Here, make a public declaration in the newspaper and that's good enough. And if they don't read it, they don't show up too late, it's already been made a public declaration in the newspaper. So celebrities do the same thing with media. They use the media as a public declaration sometimes, even if the message is only to target one person. So even though we all read that service letter, like, hey, Jim, you're being served by Karen. You probably should, pick up the paper and read the service because it has your court date in it. Even though we all read it, it was really targeted for Jim. So when I see stuff like this, I'm like, that's not for us. That's not for Kid Cut. That's for Kim. This message here, if you just joined us, and I'll pull it back up on the screen, this message here, Kid Cudi was being interviewed by Esquire magazine, and he had made this statement, which I just thought was odd. Like, unless Kanye West is really on your neck, which I have a hard time believing because you guys have two separate lives. You're doing two different things. Kanye is, managing his business, managing his company, a father, you're on tour, you're doing this merch deal. You're like, unless you and Kanye sleep in the same house, he could not be bothering you to this extent about Kim at all. It's, how easy it is as a celebrity just to say, oh man, I was texting you and get my number. Yeah, I dropped my phone. I broke my phone. I'm waiting for my publicist to order my new one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So the fact that he had to make this declaration to me just doesn't sound cohesive. It's not a cohesive message because it doesn't make sense. Nobody at that level of caliber and money as Kanye West and Kid Cudi could Kanye West ever bother you to the point where you have to make this statement in Esquire unless he asked you to. So Kim could see how infatuated he is with her. Because Kim more than likely changed her number. Don't talk to him. They probably use a family member, to mediate them dropping the kids off, picking them up, or a nanny. They probably don't even see each other. So this sounds like this message here sounds like a declaration to Kim to show how devoted Kanye is to her, even behind the scenes. Understand what I mean? That's what this looks like. That's my analysis. I don't know how truthful it is, but that is my analysis. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna front. This is my analysis. Please read the text because it's so interesting. I want to get some of your comments. This from Veronica. Hey, Veronica said, Kid and Cudi had a fallout in 2013 and made up in 2016. Kid had been distancing himself from Kanye. Kanye is delusional about their relationship. Yeah, but you also have to understand, they may have had a falling out, but he's still contractually obligated. Kanye is his boss. And they may have had a falling out, but I think it was due to the fact that they were both suffering from mental health issues at the time, like Kanye and Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was coming under a lot of pressure just to be like himself, and Kanye, the same thing with his mother. So when we talk about that falling out, that's what it really has something to do with. I'm just saying this because I've been following Kanye West's career since I found out who Kanye West was. YNV says, I agree to disagree. After the footage got out of Ye going off on Chance the Rapper, I think he was talking straight to Ye because he probably was slowing down Cudi's music. No, Kid Cudi's music, you guys, was being okay. Yes and no. Kid Cudi's music was being slowed down because I highly encourage you to read this Esquire editorial. I highly encourage you to read it. It is fascinating. Please read this editorial. Kid Cudi shied away from music because of mental health disorders, not because Kanye was giving him the short end of the stick. Kanye wanted Kid Cudi to do a lot of different features on a lot of different of his albums that had came out after Kid Cudi decided to take a hiatus and then ended up in a mental health care facility. So it was very seldom that you could get Kid Cudi to come out and just do a couple of lines on a song. He did one on Kanye West's Life of Pablo album, but that was it. He had no other artistic like to give for anybody under good music. That's what I'm saying to you. So this resurgence of Kid Cudi is because he feels safe in his mental space, not because Kanye West was giving him the raw end of the deal. That's not true at all. Kim Johnson says Kanye hasn't been right since his mama Donda died. Y'all think so? I don't know. Hello, Simone. How you doing, girl? Brenna Love. Hey, Brenna says you right about Kim. I just don't feel like. I mean, like, if he really loves Kim, he's got a weird way of showing it. Cause but we are going to talk a little bit more about men in a little bit because we're going to be discussing a little bit more about men on the second half of the show after the ad. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I've been following Kanye for so long. And then when I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Kanye, he wasn't on there, but when he was married to Kim, they had the weirdest relationship. They just did not seem like, you know what I mean? They just didn't, I don't know. They were like oil and water. Veronica says Kanye is obsessed with Amber too. You think so? Kira says, this is sad about Cudi. Interesting, Cudi and Ye both have issues mentally. Yeah, a lot of people have mental health disorders, It's not uncommon. It's probably more uncommon to be mentally sane. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably more common to have a mental health care issue than it is to it's probably less common to be mentally stable and more common to have a mental health care. I swear, the way I'd be like scrolling through TikTok and everyone is just like, I have this, I have that. And no shade to them, it's very proud of people who are able to express their mental health care their mental health issues up in a public platform. So shout out to people who do that very candidly. But there's so many people I just come across. They're like, I have this, I have that, I have this. I was like, wow, is there any sane people left? Because if there isn't, hey, it's just we live in a society where everyone's insane, and that's cool. Is it Chauncey? Is it Chaunice? Chaunice says Kim never seemed interested in the earlier seasons when they would run into each other. I know, it just seemed like it's just a weird dynamic. Erica says Kim always been there with him during the mental breakdowns. That's true, because Kim is more interested in a picturesque relationship, and Kanye takes that away. Like when Kim wants clean and balance and private, Kanye does not offer that. If you are looking for clear, balanced, and and simple, you're not going to get that with Kanye West at all. He always distorted what Kim was looking for. She just wanted just like even keeled, and he never gave her that. He gave her leaving concerts early, and you know attacking paparazzi, and just wild crazy rants on Twitter. And it's like when you have an image, right, when Kim has this like very docile image, Kanye disrupts that. And so that's why she had the breakdowns. She didn't have the breakdowns because she loves him so much. She had the breakdowns because he was distorting her image, not her money, just her image. You know what I mean? This is from Koya. Hey, Koya. It says, remember when Kim couldn't get a hold of him when Chicago was being delivered? Kanye wild. I don't know if that's Kanye wild. Veronica says, I don't know if Donda covered up his mental health issues, but in known she was an anchor for him. Well, she was all he had, you know what I mean? So imagine somebody who breathed life into you. And I'm not just talking about because she gave birth to him, but someone who brought life into him. He actually, when he was an adolescent, young, like 12, 13, 14, he actually studied art in China because his mom sent him to China to study art. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of his art is found and sold on the Antiques Roadshow. Watch that episode. It's a really great episode. Somebody actually got a piece of his art when he was 12 and brought it to the Antiques Roadshow to be appraised. Yeah, Kanye's mom breathed life into him and allowed him as a boy, young boy, to express himself artistically. She didn't care how he did it. She just said, paint, draw, write, dance, cry, scream. And so he was so liberal. He was raised as this artistically liberal child that when you have this person just pouring into you constantly all the time and then they're just gone, yeah, that could disrupt your mental health. You know what I mean? So that's understandable because she raised him like parents are supposed to raise your kids to be like, okay, how do you feel today? Oh, I don't feel like doing anything. Okay, well, you just won't do anything. You don't force your kids into a mold. So he broke out of that very early on. So that's great for Donda. Damn, I wish she'd have wrote a book before she passed away about how she raised him. I'm sure years later, like if she would have survived years later, she probably would have talked about how she raised him and what she was thinking in her head about how to raise a young boy in South Side of Chicago. You know what I mean? So I wonder, that would have been I'm telling you, that would have probably been a New York Times bestseller. Like, how did I raise Kanye? Because you only get bits and pieces. Most people didn't even know he was in China studying art. Smash that like button. Thank you, Shan. Smash it. It's 150 you in the building. Earth is Ghetto. What's up? Earth is Ghetto said, then she all of a sudden dies. Yeah, I throw a couple cards out of my deck too. I miss my mama. She was the same way. Yeah, so that's how it is. Like if you have that parent who pours into you, then all of a sudden they're gone. Yeah, he's gonna have mental health breaks. Now, it doesn't excuse his behavior because he's an adult and a billionaire, so you can't go out there bullying your friends to help you get Kim's phone number. But at the same time, though, like it is understandable that he would have that kind of like tailspin. We gotta add. So shout out to KidCudi. We'll be poking at that story a little bit more because I'm a little bit curious. I'm definitely curious about the whole thing. The whole thing just sounds kabuki to me. Kabuki. This ad is brought to you by Z&E Boutique. Z&E Boutique is a clothing brand from the south side of Chicago, no less, Kanye, from the south side of Chicago. And Z&E Boutique is also owned by Brianna. Brianna has a lifelong affair with fashion and design, and using her unique eye for fashion, has created a colorful collection of pieces that best fit for you. Check out shopzneboutique.com for tees, clothes, accessories. Z&E Boutique also accepts Sizzle Pay for interest-free payments. Use promo code NOSY for an additional 20% off at checkout. And shout out to Brianna at Z&E Boutique for sponsoring our show. Can't do it without y'all. Could not do it without Charles. Thank you. Shout out to Brianna. I never see her in the chat, but she's a busy businesswoman. Y'all know we got to talk about it. So I don't know what y'all, don't cry now. Don't cry now. That's Boys to Men, okay? That's the best image I could find of 3 black men standing next to each other. They are not part of the story. They're not part of the story. We got to talk about it. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It's time. The time has come. The time has come, and we're going to talk about it. We're actually going to be talking specifically about this article written by Psychology Today, titled "The Rise of Lonely Single Men." That's right. Now, I know you guys probably have made your way, please smash the like button, made your way across the internet, and you see, if you're on TikTok, if you're here on YouTube, if you're on Instagram or Facebook or any social media, even Big O, whatever that's called, you probably have seen the rise of all of these podcasts, live streams, YouTube videos, you name it, these losers have found it. So you probably have seen the rise of a lot of these red pill talk shows, probably at the inception of Kevin Samuels. May his horrible soul rest in peace. Okay. See, you probably have. You've probably seen the rise of these styles of men basically just letting women have it, giving women a piece of their mind and offering, if that's what you want to call it, relationship advice. Offering relationship advice. Now, mind you, half the men who offer these relationship advice can't spell relationship and also are not in one. So I find it very just unusual that there are men out there giving relationship advice and they can't spell it. But an article came out in Psychology Today titled "The Rise of Lonely Single Men." And we're going to read it today. And then I'm going to add some anecdotes to it. So the article is brought to you by Estroff Morano. I want to pronounce his name right. The article is written and reviewed by, Hera Estroff Morano. And you can check the article out on Psychology Today. The article says young and middle-aged men are the loneliest they've ever been in generations, and it's previously gotten worse. This is not my typical rosy view of relationships, but a reality nonetheless. Over the last 30 years, men have become a larger portion of that growing group of long-term single people. That's right. That's you fellas. And while you don't actually need to be in a relationship to be happy, men typically are happier and healthier with a partner. Keep that part in mind. Here are the 3 broad trends in relationship landscape that suggest heterosexual men are in a rough road ahead. Dating apps. Whether you're just starting to date or you're recently divorced and dating again, dating apps are a huge drive of a new romantic connection in the United States. The only problem is that upwards to 62% of users are men. And many women are overwhelmed with how many options they have. Competition in online dating is fierce, and lucky in-person chance encounters with dreamy partners is even rarer. Relationship standards. That's the second caveat. Relationship standards. With so many options, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. I do a live TikTok show called A Better Love Project and speak with hundreds of audience members every week. And I hear reoccurring dating themes from women and men from the ages of 25 to 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and similar values. And then the third caveat this author had noticed is called skills deficit. For men, this means our relationship skill gaps, if not addressed, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities, less patience for poor communication skills, and longer periods of being single. The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeline of healthy long-term love. And emotional connections requires all the skills that families are not consistently teaching these young boys. So essentially, you have these men who get on the internet and tell women a thing or two about themselves, but in actuality, it's men who are the deficit, right? They are not the exception to the rule. Women have raised their standards when it comes to men. And by raising their standards, they simply just want you to care, which is weird. And men, according to the psychologist, are not divulging enough into the simple things that women want and therefore become single. I'm sick and tired of watching people go live on TikTok, people go live on Instagram, people go live on YouTube talking about, and I'm sorry, this video probably won't get monetized, but talking about fucking relationships. I'm so fucking sick of it. Like, sick to my stomach of these men telling women how they need to be, and they need to be dainty and charming and this, and they need to not make money, and they need to do this and this. All the while, he's jerking his fucking dick off by himself because nobody wants to be near him. These men who host these live shows are losers, and nobody wants to say it. Every single woman, no shade to you ladies out there, but every single woman out there is trying to give this softball approach to how to come and combat these red pillars. They're losers. Stop arguing with them. Stop getting on the internet and trying to debate them. You would never let his dick touch you. So why are you in a live video trying to convince him of your value? Who cares? You already know you don't want him. You already know that you don't care about his opinions. Why do we continue to allow these fucking podcasts to seep into our brains, into our cerebellums? Why do we continue to allow this? We don't give a fuck about these niggas anyway. We don't go to brunch with them. We don't sleep with them anymore, right? According to Roe v. Wade, we can't even let their dicks anywhere near our bodies, right? Because there's no plan B. The plan B is sold out everywhere. And if you try to get some, good luck trying not to get arrested. We don't even engage with these losers anymore. And still, we find the time to sit around and talk about them and talk about their dichotomy and how they think and why they think that way. And they're wrong, and women this and women, we already know all of that. Stop engaging in that. It's the lowest common denominator when it comes to content and content creation. I don't give a fuck. Now, I'm only talking about this because this article is trending on Twitter, okay? But y'all already know I do not talk about these losers, okay? Because that's what they are. They are losers. I'm the biggest loser I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm the biggest losers I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never in my entire life seen a bunch of grown 40-year-old losers telling a woman how she needs to be, yet he's single in his bathroom masturbating alone because nobody wants him. Then he gets all cleaned up and then gets on the internet and then tells women that she's not shit and that she needs to get rid of her vibrator. Go fuck yourself. Ugh! It's my glasses. Go fuck yourself, loser. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of these men. Okay? I'm so sick of them. This is Boys to Men, so please do not confuse me by pointing at this great, fantastic band with these losers on the internet. I'm sick of it. Okay, the Psychology Today article is really impressive. It is, because it does tell you a lot. It tells you that women can survive without men. And I don't mean like anatomically, right? Like we can't produce without men, but women have shaped their minds over the course of 40 years on how to adapt without men. And it's so funny that I actually saw this tweet that I'm going to bring up, because this tweet is the perfect encapsulation of what I just read. This content creator here on YouTube on Twitter says the rise of single lonely men versus the happiest people on earth being single childless females just goes to show how much men rely on outside validation to be happy. Single childless women are more happy than single lonely men. Which tells me, if I had to take a wild guess, that women tend to date for sport. Think about that for a second. Women are dating for sport. They're doing it for fun. They don't even care to get a husband. They're just bored one day and just download Tinder. And if they don't get anything, they just go back to being happy. And these men are on the internet contorting themselves like Rubik's cubes to figure out how to just bring these women back down to their level. And women are just saying, if I'm going to date, I'm going to date. You know, I might not date for the next 6 years. Fuck it. That's how we are. We're dating for sport. We're dating for fun. We don't even care about these niggas. If we know that he's going to probably buy us dinner and a drink, that's great, because that's all we're thinking about. Men think that we get up and get dressed for a date with a new stranger we just met on the internet because we're really interested in him. No, we're interested in the fucking hot wings that we're going to get and how cute we're going to look if other men are at the bar. We don't care about you. And if you want to be a dick about it, we'll just buy our own drinks. We get dressed up so other people can see us, not you, loser. Loser. So women are dating for sport. It's a game at this point. You know what I mean? It's really a game at this point, right? Like, I had a conversation with a friend the other day and he was like, do you live alone? I was like, yeah. And then he was just asking me like all of these like very random questions. A good friend of mine from high school. And he was asking me all these random questions like, oh, you know, and then dating and whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, I don't really think about dating much. He's like, oh, are you busy? Is it because you just started this company? And I was like, no, I'm busy, but not where my like nights aren't free. Sometimes most of the day after 6 p.m., I don't check emails or do anything because it's just how I just kind of like chill. And I could use that time to go and find a man and date. I won't, because I do it out of leisure. If I'm really, 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 really bored, if I'm tired of watching TV, if I'm tired of scrolling through TikTok and Twitter, I'll go on a date. It's that simple. I was going on a date. I don't put any forethought into it. I just take a couple of pictures. I don't even wear makeup. And this attitude, same person on a date. For men, it must be tiring knowing that you'll never get pussy ever again. Scared. The thought is probably pulsates in your brain. God damn, I'll never get pussy ever again. Must be tough. because getting dick is the easiest thing known to man. It's probably easier than getting a loan from a bank. But women do it for sport. So we don't need it. Let me get some of your comments. This is from Risa says, OMG, why does that sound like me? Vicky says, nope, just hit the block button and good day. That's right. This is from Tiny the Ninja says, they have to lie and manipulate to get it. That's right. Smash that like button, y'all. Let's get to some more tweets because the tweets, honey, we're going in. Let's get to this tweet right here. This says, this is from Black Pop Girl, says the Lonely Single Men article really brought me satisfaction because there's finally a concrete proof that women raising their standards is actually working. And I couldn't agree with her more. Then this loser decides that he's going to stitch a Kevin Samuels video underneath her comment as though she's going to watch it. He goes by the name of Chauncey Jr. _ Chauncey, Kevin is dead, and no one gives a fuck about what dead people say. No one cares about your dead friend below. No one cares about your corpse of a best friend below. Nobody cares. No one cares, Chauncey. That's why you're single and you masturbate by yourself, because nobody cares. No one cares. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's just pathetic behavior from grown men, if you will. Let's get to this last tweet that I thought was funny. This is from JustBen115 on Twitter. He says, the all men fallacy, because I don't think he understands what a fallacy is going to ensure a generation of bitter, lonely, single, independent women. The all men fallacy is going to ensure a generation of bitter, lonely, single, independent women. I promise you, this guy has a podcast. I promise you he does. With one like, and I'm sure he liked it. One like on this tweet, and I guarantee you he liked it himself. Let me tell you what happened. Okay? Let me tell you what happened so you can get a foundational understanding of why we are in this fucking mess. Okay? You listening? Are you listening? I'm not going to swing my glasses this time, okay? I'm just really sick of talking about these fucking losers. Okay, so let me tell you what happened so you can get a foundational understanding of why we have ended up in this mess, okay? And it's just an analysis that I have. Okay, do you remember back in the day when we had game shows and TV shows like Eliminate and Blind Date and Rock of Love and I Love New York and all those dating show coaches and all of those TV shows that we were so nostalgic about. I was nostalgic. I loved watching dating shows. Even though I was like too young to like date or just had no concept of dating, I still watched them because, I'm a millennial, so that's what we do. So do you remember all of those TV shows? Thumbs up in the chat if you remember them, and then I'm going to get back into my analysis. Bring back MTV next. Bring back Eliminate. Remember 1, 2, 3, 4, Eliminate? Bring back Blind Date. Blind Date was so good. Okay, so you guys understand. Okay, and I know a lot of you are probably at work, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of thumbs, but thank you. So we had those shows. Then we had shows that actually curated for dating individuals. We had shows that curated, like, What's wrong? What's going on? I got anxiety. I'm nervous. I'm newly divorced. I've never dated. I don't know how to talk to men. I don't know how to talk to women. And then you had these expert dating coaches who literally had thousands of marriages under their belt. They were able to say, here is my portfolio. I have successfully married about 2,000 couples, and about 1,500 of them are still together today. That is how you showed, that is how you flexed your ability to be a dating coach. That's how you did it. That's how you couldn't even walk into the room and say, I'm a dating coach. Okay, how many people have you married, and how many of those marriages are still lasting to this day? Because would nobody even look at you if you walked into a room and called yourself a dating coach? If you could not prove how many people have listened and taken your advice, matched up together because of you, and subsequently married each other because of you. So back in the day, we actually had real dating coaches who were like, no, this is a flex. I've married successfully 4,000 people. And out of all of those people, about 3,000 of them are still married, happily married today. So that was a fucking flex, right? Now you got these losers out here on the internet telling people how to date and what women want, because mostly men doing this garbage, and those hypergamy bitches, you too. And so you have these people basically back in the day saying, these are my credentials, this is how many marriages I have successfully kept together, whoop de whoop, blase skip, boom boom. Okay, they were actually helping people. They were actually helping people. They were actually getting people. They were doing these exercises. They were talking through their anxiety. They were talking about their fears. They were helping them with their appearances. They were actually getting down to the integral core approach to dating. And then all of a sudden MTV and VH1 was like, we're done with those shows, which sucked because we needed those shows. And then you had this space and time where we didn't have any dating shows. And then it started to curate what is called incels, right? The involuntarily celibate men who hang out on 4chan and 8chan, calling men chads, and how women deserve to sleep with them. Losers. They're losers. And we're not pandering to a bunch of incels, right? And then you had the Kevin Samuels, and then you had the Jordan Petersons, and then you had the I forget the other Sam Harris's come out and pander to these losers because they knew that these men were high earners. Although that they were involuntarily celibate, they were also high earners. So whatever garbage those three losers, thank God one of them's dead, those three losers were pumping out, including books and podcasts and conferences, those incels were attending them. And it wasn't advice on how to date. It was basically like, you're the king and she's a loser for not touching your dick. Weird, but whatever. And that's what gave us the rise of these red pill podcasts, because we had too much of a dead space where people weren't getting actual dating advice, dating coaches with high credentials of proper and long lasting marriages under their belt. And then you just got a bunch of confident dudes in suits. That's it. So you know what we need to do to rectify that? Bring back dating shows. Bring them back. Bring them back with the dating coaches, with the marriages under their belt. Bring them back. Because those dating coaches never one time ever called somebody hypergamy, high value, low value. They never talked about your weight. They never talked about anything. They worked on you on the inside and helped you build confidence. What we're witnessing is scared people afraid to date, and they are using excuses in their partners and in other potential mates as a way to not date. Why do you think all those red pill podcasters are single? Because they don't have the self-confidence to actually go out on a date. They don't have that. That's what's missing, the self-confidence in dating. They don't realize it and they internalize it, and then they take that anger and they push it off onto the opposite sex. You're the reason. I'm not even attracted to you. How much money do you make? What do you bring to the table? Instead of just saying, "Hey, would you like to get drinks this weekend?" So instead of just asking her out on a date to get drinks, you simply codified it as she's not bringing anything to the table because you're too afraid to just ask her out for drinks. I mean, run it back. Make it make sense. So instead of asking a woman to go get drinks, you have bought $3,000 worth of podcast equipment to tell her and denigrate her on the internet? I mean, are we for real? I mean, are we for real? Let me get to some of your comments because I know they're going on. I see them going off at the corner of my eye. April says they want to take us back to catering to men again. We have our own minds and we know what we want. And if they can't handle it, then go live with your mom. Then go live with your mama. Go live with your mom. I thought you said go live because most of them go live on Instagram and all of the other social media platforms, TikTok specifically. So he can go live or go live with his mama. Totally agree. CK says, uh, Ayana can fix this child. Loretta said, I would never marry again or Faye, or Faye after dating this guy after my husband passed away. It took 12 years and it wasn't worth the time to date him. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Loretta says, church men are the worst to date, literally. Amanda said Kevin Samuels set them up and then abandoned them like the average black father. Girl, you dirty. She's brown like me, says child, and the 50-something men are out here playing video games. Let them. Let them die single. Let them die single. We don't care. This is probably the longest conversation I'll ever have about these degenerates, specifically this one right here, because this one here, and our good friend Clarence down here posting pictures of dead men. Just weird behavior. This is the last conversation I'm gonna have about this because I'm sick of these people and these conversations. I can't take it. I can't watch another video. I want women to just wake up, stand up, and stop talking to these people. We don't care. I don't care if your stomach is churning because you want to say something so bad. Leave it alone. I don't care if it comes across your For You page, your live page, your Facebook feed, hell, YouTube. Leave it alone. You know you don't care, ladies. So quit caring. All you're doing is fueling them, making them popular, making them trend. That's all you're doing. Just leave it alone. They know they're losers. You know they're losers. And you have no interest in them. And for you pick-me's, because I see y'all too in they live videos being a pick-me. I seen y'all pick me in. Oh, you're so right. You're such a high value man. He don't want you either. Pick me. I did a live video a couple of months back, and this is the last anecdote of this. I did a live video a couple of months back, and it was the same conversation. There was a guy there. He was basically saying, I would never date someone like you because you think too much. That's what he said. No, he said, you're too independent for me. That's what he said to me. He said, I would never date someone like you because you're too independent for me. I graciously bowed out. I was like, okay, thanks. I wasn't talking about dating you, but thanks for including that. And then there was a pick me. Oh, I'm trying to be respectful right now, you guys, because I already knew this video wasn't going to be monetized because I already knew how I was about to go in on these niggas. So, there was a pick me in the comment section like, oh, she talked too much. about me. I wasn't even being rude. I was just like, I think my analysis, I think that it's the failure of not having enough relationship dating coaches in circulation that's caused this rise of people to think like this. You know what I mean? I said, that's just my opinion. And here she go in the comments. So I get out the box. I graciously bow out. I was like, thank you guys for letting me stay. Whoop de whoop. I have a large social media presence on TikTok. So if your live video has about 4 people in it and I come in, you're going to get about 300-400 people because people recognize me because they always want to listen to me, even though I don't be talking about nothing. Okay. I don't be talking about nothing. But she gets in the box and she's just like, she jumps into the live video after I get out and pick me in. Like I suspected in the comments, pick me and pick me. Well, I just think that women have gone so far from women values and I said, ma'am, you're a pick me and nobody wants you. Because I promise you, these high value men, they don't want pick me's. They definitely don't want pick me's. Hello, Clouds. How are you? Women values. I said, girl, shut up. So dumb. Sound. So let me get to the comments because I've been going off. This is from Tiny the Ninja said women values. Yes. Earth's Ghetto says, oh, you're speaking of bougie. My bad. Charity says, OMG, I missed any notification. Waves frantically. Waves frantically. Brown Delight says, child, they better live that silly high value mess in the grave with Kevin Samuels, child. They not gonna listen to me because I'm just a nosy bystander, atypical female, like. So I know they're not gonna take no advice from me. You ain't got to take no advice from me. I'm just telling you right now, you high value men. Use that term extraordinarily loosely, looser than water. I'm gonna use the term very loosely. You high value men. Nobody wants y'all. We don't care about y'all. And for you women, right? Y'all leave them men alone. Stop arguing with them. Stop stitching their videos. Stop covering them. We don't care. We don't care. We're already happy. We don't care. We don't care. Okay. I certainly don't care. So that's all I have for the show. That's all I got, you guys. That's it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So that's all I got. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then you can check us out on the after show. I'm gonna go eat dinner. There's my kitchen. I'm gonna go eat dinner. And I'll be back for the after show on TikTok right here, Chief Nosy Bystander on TikTok. So you'll be able to catch us on the after show. Yesterday we talked about Glow J and his scamming ways, allegedly. And yes, if you see Glow J's approaching you with $10 and 6 cameras, run, because he is no help to anyone. I'm your Chief Nosy Bystander, Stephanie. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see probably most likely all of you on the after show. So, and buy our merch. We're almost sold out, you guys. That's exciting. Buy our merch. We have new merch coming out this fall and gearing up for our Roku channel. So, and we got a lot more. So I will tell you this now for new merch. We're going to have a variety of a lot of stuff, including new hoodies with new designs, t-shirts, and my favorite, bucket hats. I love a good bucket hat. So I will see you guys on the after show. And we'll just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Now, I noticed that I think it was CK said something about Wendy Williams having a psychotic break. Whatever you got, CK, send it to us and we'll talk about it in the after show. Okay, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Waving frantically. Okay, bye-bye.